Earlier in your lesson about Sabbatai Zevi, I think the lecture was called A Faith of Evil. You mentioned how the Spanish Inquisition, right, that was around 1492?
No, that was the year of the expulsion. So 1492 is when the Jews were expelled from Spain. Mm-hmm. And this was a traumatic event for Jews, because if there's one place in the world at this time that Jews felt safe and at home, it was Spain, okay? Spain is the origin of the Sephardic Jews, right?
Under Muslim rule, because Muslims allowed for faiths to coexist.
Exactly, right? But then when Spain was reconquered by the Christians were not as tolerant, and the Christians were like, you either convert or you leave, okay? So a lot of people were kicked out and they were sent to Ottoman Empire, which did welcome them, but then a lot converted. And this is a very, very traumatic event in the Jewish faith, which led ultimately to Sabbatai Zevi, right? Because now you have a problem, like, what do you do with these millions of people, of Jews who converted to another faith? Do we forgive them? Do we punish them? What do we do?
Okay. So the theory now that I'm seeing, you didn't mention this in your lecture, but I was looking it up during it, was that Christopher Columbus, he was expelled, or he was in Spain during the Spanish Inquisition. Do you believe in the theory that he was actually a crypto-Sephardic Jew, and that he was there to find the New World in order to find a project for Pax Judaica?
Look, I'll tell you something really, really funny, but a lot of the people involved in the Spanish Inquisition, the Grand Inquisitors,
also Jews,
were crypto Jews. Yeah.
So they were. Yeah. So what's the point of that? Why kick out their own people?
I mean, it's all part of God's plan, right? I mean, the people are being molded, they're being tested. I mean, like, what matters is survival of the people. What matters is survival of the faith. Okay, like for 1,000 years, different empires have tried to destroy the Jewish faith. The Romans were horrific in their crimes, right? That was a Holocaust, really. Like 3 wars that killed millions of Jews. That was a Holocaust. You have the Babylonians, so you have these different empires that try to destroy the Jews. So what matters, okay, God's real plan is for the Jewish faith to persist, even though it may involve sacrifice of millions of Jews as well, right? I mean, like, so what matters is that the elite survive, because the elite are the transmitters of this culture. And if it means that the elite have to convert and then sacrifice their people, well, then that's part of God's plan.
Okay, so do you think that Christopher Columbus was a crypto Jew?
I think it's possible. I haven't looked into. Yeah.
Right, but ultimately it's the small percent, the 1% of the elite that are in control, playing both sides, and essentially a lot of them are Frankists. They are trying to use God's will or to act like they are God on earth.
Yep, because only they know the true plan, right? Only they have the courage to implement God's plan. Because if God's plan involves the death of like 99% of humanity, like, are you okay with doing God's will, right? They are, because they're strong, because they have real faith. We're not, we're just ordinary people. Mm-hmm. So we're cattle, right? So we shouldn't criticize them.
Right.